to Constitute to real estate.
Welcome back to Conan's Keys to Real Estate, unlocking Utah's real estate secrets, one key at a time. I'm your host, Ryan Conan, a full-time realtor at Real Broker, helping buyers and sellers in Twila and the Salt Lake Valley. One of the most common questions first-time buyers ask during the home search process is whether a home is actually a good deal. And the honest truth is, most people try to answer this question in a way that is far too simple. They look at the price, compare it to what they think the home should cost, and make a quick emotional judgment. But real estate does not work that way. A good deal is not just about price. It is about context, timing, condition, competition, and long-term value. Without understanding those pieces, it becomes very easy to either overpay or walk away from a great opportunity. So let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense in the real world. The first thing you need to understand is that value is always relative to the market. There is no universal definition of a good price on a home. A property might feel expensive in one neighborhood and be considered a bargain in another, even if they look similar on paper. That is because real estate is hyper-local and constantly shifting. This is why one of the most important tools in evaluating a home is looking at comparable sales, often called comps. Comps are recently sold homes that are similar in size, condition, and location. They give you a baseline for what buyers have actually been willing to pay, not just what sellers are asking. But even comps are not the full story. Two homes can sell for the same price and still represent very different value, depending on condition, upgrades, layout, and timing. That is where experience and context matter. Now let's talk about something most buyers underestimate, and that is competition. A home is not just being evaluated by you. It is being evaluated by everyone else in the market at the same time. If a home is priced well below similar properties, there is a reason for that. It might attract multiple offers, which can drive the price up quickly. On the other hand, if a home has been sitting on the market longer than average, there may be negotiation room, but there could also be underlying issues to investigate. Understanding where a home sits in terms of demand is a huge part of knowing whether it is a good deal. Another major factor is condition. This is where many first-time buyers either overestimate or underestimate value. A home that looks outdated is not automatically a bad deal. In fact, it may be an opportunity if the structure and systems are solid. On the other hand, a home that looks updated on the surface may be hiding expensive issues underneath. This is why inspections and due diligence are so important. A good deal is not just what you see on the surface, it is what you understand after you dig deeper. Now let's bring in another layer that often gets overlooked, and that is total cost of ownership. The price of the home is only one part of the equation. Your monthly payment includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. But beyond that, you also have maintenance, repairs, utilities, and long-term upkeep. A home that seems like a great deal based on purchase price alone may not be such a good deal once you factor in higher taxes, older systems, or ongoing maintenance costs. On the flip side, a slightly more expensive home that is newer or more efficient might actually cost less over time. This is where long-term thinking becomes critical. Let's talk about something very important that most buyers do not realize until they are deep into the process. A good deal is not just about saving money up front. It is about how the home performs financially over time. For example, if you buy slightly below market value but the home requires constant repairs, your long-term costs may outweigh the initial savings. But if you buy a well-maintained home in a strong area, even at a higher price, it may hold or increase its value while giving you stability. Now let's shift into negotiation, because this is where many buyers think they can get a deal. Negotiation is not just about offering a lower price. It is about understanding leverage. Leverage comes from things like how long a home has been on the market, how many other buyers are interested, the condition of the property, and the seller's situation. Sometimes a good deal is not about price reduction at all. It might be closing cost credits, repairs, timing flexibility, or financing concessions. Many buyers overlook these because they are focused only on the sticker price. This is where having a strong agent becomes important, because strategy matters more than emotion in negotiations. Another important piece is emotional bias. This is one of the biggest reasons buyers either overpay or miss good opportunities. When you fall in love with a home, it becomes very easy to justify paying more than you originally planned. On the other hand, when you are unsure, you might walk away from something that actually made sense financially. The goal is to separate emotion from analysis. You want to like the home, but you also want to be able to step back and evaluate it objectively. One of the best ways to do this is to always compare the home to at least 2 or 3 alternatives. Even if you are leaning toward one property, looking at others helps reset your perspective and gives you context for value. Let's walk through 2 simple scenarios. In the first scenario, a buyer sees a home they love and rushes into an offer without fully comparing it to others. They win the home, but later realize similar properties were available for less or with better features. In the second scenario, a buyer takes their time, compares multiple homes, understands the market, and then makes an offer based on clear data and comfort level. They may still compete, but they do so with confidence instead of emotion. Neither outcome guarantees perfection, but the second approach almost always leads to better decision making. At the end of the day, knowing if you are getting a good deal is not about finding a perfect formula. It is about understanding context, asking the right questions, and making informed decisions based on both data and lifestyle fit. My final thoughts. A good deal is not just about price, it is about value, condition, competition, and long term performance. The best buyers are not the ones who chase the lowest number, they are the ones who understand the full picture before making a decision. Take time to study the market, compare options, evaluate condition honestly, and think beyond the purchase price. When you combine data with patience and perspective, you give yourself the best chance of making a decision that feels good both today and years down the road. This is Conan's Keys to Real Estate Unlocking Utah's Real Estate Secrets, one key at a time.